internal and sustainable growth rates. This is a classic example of a topic where the calculations are trivial, very easy, but the implications are very important, right? So this is a really important topic, though the calculations are real easy. So internal and sustainable growth rate, first let's define the plowback ratio, often denoted by B. This is retained earnings over net income. Remember, net income can either go to retained earnings or dividends, right? So retained earnings divided by net income plus dividends divided by net income sums to 1, right? So this is some number between 0 and 1. So this is how much of net income we're reinvesting in the business. So we have our internal growth rate. Now, what the internal growth rate is how fast we can grow our assets, how fast we can grow, and when I say grow, I mean grow our assets, so you're looking at change in assets divided by assets. How fast we can grow our assets using only internal funds, meaning only retained earnings. So if we just rely on financing our growth via retained earnings, this is the maximum rate at which we can grow, right? So ROA times the plowback ratio divided by 1 minus ROA times the plowback ratio. I won't derive these here. These are fairly simple, easy to derive. I can do that in a separate video if you're interested. So I'll just give you the formula and derive them later. So now, often, right? So now, one thing to consider is looking at this internal growth rate. If you are increasing your assets just using internal funds, your total debt ratio is actually declining because you're not increasing, you're not selling any new debt. So your debt's staying the same, but your assets are increasing, right? So your equity is increasing relative to your debt. So the idea here is if you're going at this rate using only internal financing, your total debt ratio will decline. So what the sustainable growth rate says is, and so the idea here is, in short, this will, if you're growing only using internal funds, this will affect your capital structure. So you might say, well, how fast can I grow where I'm not affecting my capital structure and I'm not selling new stock, right? So the idea of this is, the sustainable growth rate is the maximum rate at which you can grow, selling additional debt to keep your total debt ratio constant, but not issuing new equity, right? So that's the sustainable growth rate. So that's the only difference between the two is instead of return on assets, we have return on equity here. Good, so calculations are easy. Why are these important? Well, what these tell us is how, one, these are really important as a sanity check. I'm going to give you two examples, a couple examples of where these are really important. And then I'll talk about the underlying factors that affect ROA and ROE. So yeah, let me jump into where these are useful. So these are a really good sanity check. Often CEOs will say, well, they're very tempted to promise that they can grow fast, right? So these are going to tell you the maximum rates at which you can grow, right? Given assumptions about your capital structure. So this will help management stop to not overpromise. So I have seen, you can go out and see, you'll see management of various organizations overpromise. A lot of things I see in academia, you very often see college presidents say things like, I want to increase enrollment and pay down debt. Well, this is, if you're going to start paying down debt, right, you're not issuing additional debt, right? That might be, this might be appropriate where you're paying, your debt is getting smaller in your capital structure. And this is going to tell you how fast you can grow, right? So a classic example, going to businesses is Krispy Kreme. So, and I do this case in my financial problems course. But if you look at in the early 2000s, Krispy Kreme went public, and the CEO was really pressured well, I shouldn't say the CEO was really pressured. The CEO overpromised, right? The CEO said, we're going to grow this fast, and if you looked at it, given they're already, given the level of debt that they already had, the only way that they could grow that fast, you could easily do a sustainable growth rate. And when we do this analysis in My Financial Problems course, we do a sustainable growth rate on Krispy Kreme. And we see that they could only grow, let's say, their assets at 15%, right? So if they're promising 30, 40%, the only way to do that is to start, drastically doing a large equity sales, right? So it's in that case, if you're looking at Krispy Kreme in the early 2000s, it becomes very clear that they overpromise that they're going to have to sell a massive amount of equity to meet the promises that the CEO is making. If you remember what happened at Krispy Kreme, then they ran into some accounting irregularities. I often make the case that the problem was not in their accounting choices. The problem started when the CEO overpromised. And then everything, what they did on the accounting side was just to make up for that overpromise, to say, okay, well, we can't hit these targets, so let's try overly creative accounting. But I often say the problem in that case is not to sit there and say, well, the Krispy Kreme shouldn't have done those accounting things, right? Yeah, obviously, but the problem really started when the CEO overpromised, when they could only grow at 15% given their capital structure, and they're promising 40%, right? So you will see this. This is really important. So this is like a sanity check for management to say, can I really grow this fast? Now, other factors here that are really important, other things that we can get from this internal and sustainable growth rates is clearly, ROA and ROE here. If you increase your profit margin, right, your ROA is going to go up, and then so your numerator goes up. This number goes up, gets closer to 1, so your numerator is going up, your denominator is getting smaller, so you can grow faster. So if you do want to grow faster, you're saying, well, how do I grow faster? You can increase your profit margin, meaning hold down your cost better. Right? You can increase your total asset turnover, and then you can grow faster, right? With respect to the debt-to-equity ratio, if you have a higher debt-to-equity ratio than your sustainable growth rate, you can grow faster, right? However, also, if you increase your plowback ratio, actually, this here is incorrect. What I wanted to say is, so if you increase your plowback ratio, obviously, you can increase growth. But the idea here is if you, the amount that you pay out in dividends, right? So if you increase your dividends, right, you will lower your growth. So increase your plowback ratio, you'll increase your growth. But conversely, if you increase your dividends, the amount, proportion of your net income that you're paying in dividends, well, that would reduce the plowback ratio, and that would reduce growth, right? So not only can we, just the number we get from this calculation be important to say, we can't grow that fast as a company. This also will tell management, well, if you do want to grow faster, how can you do it, right? What are the factors that go into the maximum rate at which you can grow your assets? Excellent. Have a great day.